Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the land of dust and pollen, better wise known as the Valley of Phoenix, Arizona. Oh man, my allergies are kicking my butt today. We are going to be doing another 2-hour stream today, so hopefully a lot of you can stay with me and hang out and have a good time with me. Welcome to everybody who's up this early, and for those of you who are able to sneak me in during your workday, thank you very much. What we did last week is we did a little bit of cleanup art for the game called Scuttled. Not going to be doing that today. We are going to be working, however, on the 3D logo for the Scuttled character, or the cover of Scuttled, which is a Kraken. And we've got it mostly roughed out. There's still a little bit more to do, some adjustments to make, but making progress. These things are always a bit of hit and miss, and it's been a long time since I've really done any serious organic modeling, so this is a good way for me to flex some old memories and blow the dust off and get some rust out and possibly learn a lot of new skills. I used to do this style of modeling for doing a lot of cartoon characters that I would do, and now I'm going to apply it to something fun that I do for myself. I'm glancing over at the artwork right now going, I need to make an adjustment here, make an adjustment there. But I'm giving it a minute for people to kind of filter in, say hello. For those of you who are watching the broadcast after the fact, thank you very much. It does mean a lot to me. It really does. So let's get this out of the way. My art is fueled by a caffeine furnace, and that caffeine comes from coffee. So if you would like to directly support me and the things that I'm doing, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/chainreaction. And there you'll find all the information that you'll need to be able to help fund this channel, to be able to get better equipment, to buy products that I can later sell down the road to you at the various conventions that I'm going to attend. Apparently, just a little note in news, I did an experiment of little keychains, which I don't have any left to show, so I can't go, here's one right here. But I did the little dragon with the cookie, for those of you who are familiar with my work, and, well, apparently it went over very well. So now I'm in the process of generating not only more of that particular dragon, but another dragon and little baby Cthulhu. And those are going to be available at Phoenix Fan Fusion, which is May 27th through the 29th, as we can see right there. That just conveniently popped up at the Phoenix Convention Center. If you're not able to donate that way, come on by the convention, see all the guests that are coming, and say hi. Come by the booth. Apparently I have a corner booth down on the floor, which is exciting to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and flip over here. I've got a couple of people who have popped in. Hi everybody. And I'm going to go over to the model. And here's where we sort of left off. I did massage the cheeks and this and the other thing after the last broadcast, and I've only really been working on this during the broadcast. So one of the things I want to do is kind of define this nose just a little bit more, and just, cut in some definition. We'll see how that goes. I may like it, I may not like it. We shall see. But I am going to turn this off so that I can see a little more about what I was doing before. And I think this may only need a slight cut. We shall see. So I'm going to my voids. That's a word, voids. Uh-oh. For whatever reason, it has decided it's not going to show me my vertices, but that's okay, I know they're there. It's just being silly. And I'm going to turn this back on just to see what the effect is. And it's not the effect I want. So it's back to just fiddling around till I find what works for me. So I knew this was going to be part of the process. I was just hoping it would be nicer to me. Good morning, Jackson. Oh, you like this? You're on the road, from what I understand. It's kind of fun to be able to do this and travel. I remember I had worked in with the desktops for so long, and I got to SMU, the university, and where I was teaching, and I had to go from my office to the classroom where I was teaching, and I had to render something, and I couldn't stop the render. I couldn't shut down my laptop and take off, and so I have the laptop open, a render's going, and I'm walking through the hall. This was a while ago, so the realization was relatively new, but to be able to sit there and render in 3D as I'm walking through the hall just kind of was a moment for me. And now there are people in cars watching me on phones or on laptops or on desktops or on iPads or different pads, and it just blows my mind still, but I'm easily amused. What can I say? So, welcome, Jackson, our newest member of the Pantsless Pirates. And if you want to know about the Pantsless Pirates, go over to the Facebook page called Pantsless Pirates Gaming, and there you'll learn all about the general shenanigans we get up to on a regular basis. Okay, enough promoting. Let's work on this model, which is why we are here. I'm going to bring this up so you guys can see a little bit better what I'm doing, and I have no idea what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to kind of push and pull. Good morning, Brandy. Where can we find you at Ren Fair this weekend? Well, look for the sheep. I'll be wearing sheep. We've changed our routine, just to get off topic again, because Brandy is the master of derailing me. Really good at it. We don't have a set routine anymore. We kind of go in and add Canon, get coffee, and then just tootle around. Yes, you absolutely are. The best way is to be there before Canon and find us in the parking lot. Look for the pirate flags. Nudge, nudge. Wink, wink. Say no more, say no more. That is probably the easiest way to find us, is to get there before Canon. The lines are stupid long. So it does behoove you and anyone else who wants to be there. Yes, very early. Look, don't tell me about early. I'm there at 7 o'clock. And the reason I'm there so bloody early is because at 8 o'clock, traffic gets dumb. So, seriously, I know you won't make it before 8, but you should shoot for 7:30 at the latest. That way you kind of get there around 8-ish. I know you have a little bit more of a... I'm just a little touched, not completely insane. Thank you very much. But I suggest you aim for about a half an hour to an hour before you really want to get there, simply because it is really busy this season, and the best way to get in there is to get there early. You can enter at 7, clearly, but definitely try to get there before 8. At that point, no one has filled up the 60. There's no accidents, and there have been several accidents over the last few weekends that have caused hour-long backups. So earlier is better, but if you really want to find us before Canon, which is at 10, we'll be in the VIP parking lot or in the line on the farthest left, which is the closest to the wall there where you register for the giveaway from the airlines. Okay, back to why we're here. Okay, we went, I think, the first or second weekend, and it wasn't horrible. No, it wasn't. I was shocked by the lack of traffic. It got worse. Sounds like it's gotten worse as the season has progressed. The weather has been a big part of that. You gotta remember, the opening part of the season was really warm. and it has since cooled down. So I have no idea what it's going to be like this weekend, but the past 3 weekends have been cool, and this weekend before last, the Saturday, was higher than President's Day. If that's telling you the crowds they're pulling in. They're pulling in bigger than their normal President's Day crowds. So, back to this. All right, I'm going to define this nose with or without Brandy's of distractions. Anyway, I'll stop distracting you. Model this beach. I wanted to see if we could catch up to. Yes, and I love that we're both on the same page and like minds. But yes, we are going to model this bad boy, and I think I need to make some definition cuts here. So I'm going to do the cut somewhere in here. There we go, from you to you. And that's going to change that profile just a little bit, but it's also going to give me a chance. Do I want to do that? I want to do this. Yeah. I think I want to cut from you to you. And if I don't like it, I'll just undo it, as long as I don't get too crazy. The problem I can see already that I'm not going to like is I've made a bunch of triangles in here, so I might have to fix that. Let's see what we can do. We're going to grab this guy. We're going to say move along an edge. Let's see if we can push this. Ooh, there's a problem right there. Well, I don't have as many triangles as I thought, but I also don't have what I need. So we're going to bring you back to here, and we're going to target weld this. And I know I'll probably end up needing that open like that at some other point, but like I said, we're just kind of piddling around right now. And we're looking on the profile just to, kind of see what I can cut and define a little bit better. It's a black screen on Twitch. I have no idea why it would be doing that. Hang on. It's a black screen on Twitch. Well, I am dropping frames. I do not know why I'm dropping so many frames right now. And I can't flip over to Twitch. I don't know why it wouldn't be working on Twitch. That is very weird. I wonder if I am... Well, see, I'm live on Facebook, and people can see me on Facebook. I don't know about YouTube. It's, you know what, the streaming thing, it's just a deal, and I don't have any controls I can flip to real quick. But it looks like I am losing drop frames at 42%, 43. It started at 60 and it's getting lower. I'm sorry for people on Twitch right now. And I don't know if it's the card that I have in this computer, or if there's something wrong with Twitch itself. I am not sure how to address this. This is a new situation. Okay, maybe it's you. Honestly, I really hope it's not you, Karma, because that's an easier thing to fix than your rig, and you've got a pretty stout rig. So, okay, I'm getting no more alerts of dropped frames. It's a good thing I'm going 2 hours today, because I think the first hour is going to be just troubleshooting. Let's move my camera just a little bit here, so I'm a little more centered. Sorry about that, guys. All right, I'm going to let Breathing Karma dig around and see if that's an issue on his end or mine. Oh, we're back. We have a screen. And again, I'm not dropping frames. Okay, it was the app. Well, maybe that was easier to fix. All right. Yay, thank you for pointing that out. That was kind of scary and a lot of fun to add excitement to basically paint drying. I think I want to I'm trying to define this nose a little bit more. As you can see in this model here, I've got it defined. I just, I'm not digging that. What happens when I do this? Let's do something dumb. I'm probably going to hate that. Oh yeah, I hate that. Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, the first problem is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles coming to a single vertex, and that is just bad juju. So I'm going to do a cut here to here first of all, and then I'm going to eliminate some edges. Let's remove. Let's remove. Why are you doing that, Jeff? Well, okay, I can have a triangle here, a triangle there. The reason I'm doing this is that it causes all kinds of surface anomalies, amongst other things, when you have too many polygons, triangles. So click the notification of you going live gave me a blank screen, but going to Twitch and then your channel worked. So I guess for those of you who may have the same problem, he clicked the notification, which gave me a blank screen, the notification I was going live, and going to Twitch and then the channel made it work apparently. So if you are experiencing black screen problems on Twitch as well, that might be the workaround. So, Alright, I'm not sure where I'm going with this piece right now. Alright, let's do this. And I want to have a nice cut through here. So through, of course, through the area that is the most problematic. Let's see, what's the bottom of this nose look like? It's a point, so I would just be dividing it if I did that. But if I were smart, and I'm not, I would do a double cut through here. So, I think I've modeled myself in a bit of a corner here. So what I need is basically a trench through here, which will define the nose a little bit better. And I think by cutting a trench in there, I'm going to cause myself some more triangle issues. But I'm not a very bright person, so I'm just going to do that anyway. Let me see what this looks like real quick. Yeah. So I was thinking about doing a cut from here through to the tip, which is probably what I should do. But I think I'm going to do a cut through here and create a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, this will move this triangle from here to a small triangle there. So yeah, let's give that a whirl. Let's see, let's cut, and then I believe there is no try past that one. Yeah. All right, and then, oh boy, that is not what I wanted. Hang on. I missed. How did I miss? Let's say cut to cut. Thank you. And if I'm not speaking loud enough, just please let me know and I will try to enunciate more. But for now, I'm going to put some cuts there. Oh yeah, that changes my typography a lot. I saw the light shift. Yeah. And we're going to do some cuts to there. And probably should cut to there. There we go. Alrighty, well, I have some cuts in. They're not going to do anything just yet. I have to massage a few things around, which I'm concerned about, to be honest. Hey, I don't want to cut. Stop it. Alright, that's not what I wanted either. Oh, I just burnt the screen. Doggone it. You guys don't see it, but I see it. For whatever reason... Hello? Click. There we go. It's just being weird. Alright. Oh, it did define it. I didn't have to do a whole lot. It did give me some definition without me having to do a whole lot of massaging. But I am going to massage it just a wee bit. Even though my computer is trying to fight me. Speaking of being able to hear me, I know my voice is a little rough. It's all that dust and pollen out there at the fair that I'm going to. Alright, that's an edge. Let's do a move. Let's grab this guy right here. Let's drag that a little bit in. I don't want such a wide, I'm going to move this, line. And then I want to be able to deepen. So we're going to take this guy and we're going to turn this off, otherwise bad things will happen. There, now I've got my ravine I was talking about. And it only cost me a small arm and a leg. There we go. But I don't know what it's doing to my model just yet. So let's... Okay, I probably only did that so I could turn that to a square. Let's see how this looks. Let's back out here. See everybody back out. Alrighty. I'm checking the profile. I know it's going to fall a little short of this line I've got in here because of the tension from the mesh smooth, but that's okay for now. I'm just looking at general proportions. I think I do want this a little further out. And we're going to look at the nose here, and it's a little more defined, which is kind of what I want. Why does a Kraken have a nose? Why not? But I do see some pieces that I do kind of want to clean up because it's going to cause me some issues down the road. So we're going to... I did this originally so that I could have a quad. I think... I said target weld. Do as I say. You do you. Aha. Ooh. That may not have been the wisest choice. Let's see. Let's undo. Gives me a little more definition, and if that one's back, it just does that. Okay. I guess it serves a purpose, so we'll leave some of this alone. Alright. We'll leave that alone for now. Let's bring this forward. There we go. Just massaging. Trying to see what we want. Noses are always hard. Even if it's only a Kraken's nose. Alright, well, we're getting there. I still need to massage this plate. It's way too high up. There's only room for one at this point, and I think he needs a double plate, so that's one thing I need to work on. I need on defining this cheekbone right here a little bit more. And that may have to come after I start putting in the tentacles. We'll see. And then I have some things I want to do to the skull. Well, to the head, which will give it a little more of a skull-like appearance. want to put in a flattening right in here. But what I think I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to come back over here to the large camera, because what I need to do to move forward is get rid of the area of my screen that's burned in that you guys can't see. So I'm just going to shut down the software just for a second, let it clear, and open it back up. And hopefully it'll only take a moment. Meanwhile, coffee time. Oh, that's so much better. I have my miner who hates mornings. I can't tell you who the miner is, you know, copyright. But we know who he is. And he fits my personality in the mornings. So, judging by the flash of light that just lit me up and turned me luminescent, we are back. So let's load the file again and come back over to here. All right, here we are. And let's do some fun stuff real quick. We're not going to make this permanent, but we are going to mirror and make it a copy for now, just so we can get an idea of what needs to be done or not. Right now he looks like a very upset Squidward. I'm okay with that. Yeah, this, for lack of a better word, his Klingon ridge is not doing it for me. It's got to come down so that I have room to put the second ridge in there. So this point needs to come down to about there. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah, he does look like a pissed off Squidward. But actually, let's see, it's showing me something I didn't know was going on here. I have vertices that are not on 0. Even with the accounting for the mesh smooth causing issues with these curves, I don't think that they are where they need to be. So let's delete this guy. Yeah, look at that. That is very clearly not on 0. And we really need them to be mostly on 0. So let's see what happens when we start playing with those. What am I talking about on 0? There's a grid system. You can see in this window right here, there's a grid. There we go, is a grid. Somehow it got moved. There's 2 black lines running through this grid. Where those lines cross is 0. So everything along this black line is X. If it's on the line, it's at 0x. If it's on this line, it's at 0y. And then if I go to another view, this would be 0z. But my viewport changes depending on what I have selected. So right now, it's Z is up and down, X is left and right, Y is top and bottom, in theory. So what I want is I want to make sure the seam in particular is at 0. And this one is, let me make sure it's the one I want. Yep, this one is not at 0, so we're going to put him at 0. I don't know what that's going to do to my model, but we're going to find out. Because this little bugger right here also needs to be at 0. So let's move him. Again, I have no idea what this is going to do to my model overall, but that one, ooh, this at 2? You're not at 0 either? Oh no, we got to fix that. There we go. So I'm going to go through and check. Okay, 0, a little off. I have some things that have been bumped, apparently, as we were modeling. And it happens. So I'm going to go clean up this seam. Wow, I'm grabbing the right things. Yep. I have a lot of stuff off. Wow. You can see it right here. So That guy right there, he's not at 0. He's 12 units away from 0. So let's fix that up. There we go. Anyone else want to play? No? Alright. And let's see if they did bad things to what we were doing before. Okay, it doesn't look like too much has gotten mussed up. So let's mirror him again. He still looks like a ticked off Squidward. And there is a line that you can see the seam, and like at the tip of the nose there's some issues. Let's double check that, but I believe that is literally because of the mesh smooth. So let's grab this guy, and actually, you know what, let's make this a reference. So next time when I do this, it'll make the changes I make. So let's take a look at this guy. Where's he at? He is at 0. As is this guy. Alright, so that has a lot to do with the tensions. 0? Oh, no, maybe not. That guy is not at 0. A lot of cleanup. There we go. How's that going to make things look much better, we hope? Alright, so this time, and I do this for this very reason, is to be able to look and see curve? I did that while I was in this mode. Okay, cool. Interesting. Not what I had in mind. It's just so I can see where I'm at, see what changes I need to make, and we have a very upset Squidward. Klingon Squidward, as it were. But he'll have a big old tentacle coming out of there, so it won't look so Squidward-y when we're done. But definitely getting there. What do you guys think? Is he just a ticked off Squidward? Well, at least it doesn't look like an alien from Area 51. Car 54, where are you? Unrelated joke. Okay, anyway. Just getting a feel for this piece. I don't want to have to move that plate right now, because that's just going to suck in ways that I can't even describe. Alright. So, I think I'm going to go for the flattening of the skull and putting in, giving it a more, well, or we can start putting in tentacles. What should we do? Play with the head some more, or start roughing out where the tentacles go? I will leave it to a vote as I do this. And by the way, if you want to make sure I have plenty of this, you can go to buymeacupofcoffee.com/chainreaction. Shameless plugging, I know, I'm sorry. But every little bit does go towards improving these broadcasts, getting new equipment, having things to make down the road to show you some pretties. Oh, and while you guys are voting, let me show you another pretty I'm working on. You've all seen this. I'm going to have to flip over to this. This is scenes from the second Dungeon Oak collection. And these are the pieces that'll be in there for you to be able to buy, hold, love, and keep. And hopefully that will be ready fairly soon. I mean, I love this particular piece, but it would be narcissistic to say that because I drew it. So, coming back over to here, and back to here. You see it before I see it, because I can click over and it goes, oh, this thing, and I have to go, which tab? That's the tab I want. Not the most organized of artists, but find me one that is overly organized and I will show you an architect. Alright, so chat has yet to decide what we should be doing. So, you know what? I'm going to lay some foundation work here. Let's take a look. I'm going to get rid of this. And we're going to start looking at a good way or a bad way. I mean, let's first start with this. And I'm going to eliminate and create a big old hole. Blink. There's a big old hole there. Does that behoove me? I'm not sure. What if I got rid of these? That'll make a bigger hole. Ooh, wow, that changed a lot of stuff, huh? Alright. This is me just looking to see where I need to put things or not. Wow, that's very interesting. And let's put that back. Alright. Trying to decide how I want to do this. A lot of modeling, at least for me, because I'm not classically trained, is a bunch of experimenting. Going, whoop, that didn't work. So there's going to be a lot of that. It's a whoop, that didn't work, start over. Let's turn this off. Oh, I burned a screen. That's what happened. It's like, why did nothing change? I'm not going to restart the software just yet on that one. Just trying to see where things are in relationship. Okay. Just like... kind of did that. I do want to rebuild that area too. Or, I need that, so it'd be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to keep that, but I also need that line. This is hard. One, 2, 3, 4. This is a weird. All right, that does kind of work. There's not too many points coming to here. But I want to define this cheek. A little bit more. So let's hide this object real quick. Not in our way. And kind of look at things here. I kind of want to define this cheek a little bit more, kind of like we did with the nose here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some cuts, but I'm hesitant because there's actually a triangle coming into here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's a bit much, but it defines what I want. So could define this socket a little bit better because I do have a triangle situation. So let's just do that real quick just to see what happens. It probably will not solve anything, and it may cause other issues, which is always fun because, you know, when things go wrong on this channel, that's when the excitement happens, right? Oh, okay. Let's take a look at that a little bit more. And I think we said we wanted to just define that a little bit more. So I'm going to come from here to there, cut here. Like I said, this may cause issues. Let's try cutting here first. And then we'll take this guy and we'll move him around as needed and we'll see how that looks. Yeah, they didn't really change anything for me. Well, nothing too much. Let's see what happens when I grab this guy. Pull him out. Well, it tells me that's what I really need to have happen. So let's make that line go away. Alright, so I need to cut to here. Alrighty. No. Let's make sure we got everything I want, and then I'm going to push those in. So it's a little more defined, and then maybe I can rebuild that area that I was concerned with. We shall see. It's probably going to end poorly for me, but again, that's half the fun. There we go. Ooh, I'm not sure about this. All kinds of bad. Alrighty. Well, yeah, I'm not sure about this little guy right here. This little guy here is gonna give me headaches. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Definitely gives him more goggles. Means I could probably rebuild this little section here, which is kind of what I want to do anyway. Yeah, a little bit better. Again, it's just pushing and pulling and massages and prodding. Like fishing. You gotta push and pull and prod and get the line in the right spot when you're fly fishing. Let's not do that. I went back to the original object. It's like, so I can go down here to sphere. This is what we started with. This is the object that we started with. And we added a modifier, which turned it into this, and all the changes we've been doing has been at this level of modifier. And then this is kind of our polishing. Gives us our kind of our rubbery, cartoony look for this object. Let's see. Let's play around with this right here. This guy don't know if he needs to be there. Let's play with him first before we get rid of him. Kind of like playing with your food. This might help, might not, we'll see. But I'm getting some weird topography. I'm not sure if it's what I want. And maybe it's this piece. Sometimes you spend hours just hunting down the right vertex to move. It's really sad. It's been my life. But I think we're getting this guy a lot closer. And I only am working on him during these streams, so I would say I work about 90%, 95% on him during these streams. I'll do a little tweaking, a little modifying after a stream just to clean it up. Sometimes I'll have a eureka moment while I'm doing that. But I think, like I said, I've got to clean this up. This got messed up. And I don't like it. So I think, let's see if I want to do that. I just want it through here if I do that. So hopefully that'll be easy. Let's play with something real fast. Save our scene. I know I've got auto backups on it. It saves it automatically for me. I'm going to make sure this is a proper left side. And do I want that up higher? Everything seems to be going too high, but I think in this case I'm going to mirror was true. Fair enough. And then that's not right. Why does it look like that? Let's start over. Again, it's all about trying things. I'm going to turn this off so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So I know I want to line roughly there. And then I want to kind of follow this, and I kind of want it to fade out there. So in theory, let's go ahead and bring that line all the way back just so things are even. Don't have to use the vertices. So, in theory, and then let's bring this all together here. I'm probably going to fix it later. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten the head just slightly. Back to my top screen. And let's start pushing some things. And I want to push these guys out. I have no idea this is going to be the effect I'm going to end up with, but what I'm trying to do is just a little bit of the flattening of the skull that you get normally on a head, just a little bit. And of course this guy can come back this way. Which means I have to pull some things out because I don't want to deform the skull too much. And I have no idea if this is going to work. And I know that wants to blend, so probably not what I want, but it might get me where I'm a lot closer. Let's pull these up a little bit so they're not so sharp. I'm beginning to believe that to be a good YouTuber, you have to be really good at talking to yourself. Fortunately, I've always been very good at talking to myself. Actually, I'm going to reverse what I did there. Kind of want... And let's make that a little more... Let's round this just a little bit. Same with this one. Gonna round these things just a hair. Just want to add a little detail to this head. It doesn't have to be a lot, just enough. I think that's really getting in the area that I want. It's not perfect, but it's getting there. Let's drag these guys in just a little bit, and then I think these guys need to come down, help define the shape a little bit more. Alrighty. Yeah, so that flattening is what I'm after. I might have to refine it some more, but there we are. Let's make that bigger for you guys. There we are. Again, I'm going to have to piddle with it a little bit because honestly, this shouldn't, this needs to come down right here too. And this can come up. Tighten that up a little bit. There. That needs to be a bit of a dent. Perfect-ish. It's not going to be perfect, but it's getting there. Slowly but surely. It has to have that kind of skull-like appearance to make it non-octopus-like. It, you know, krakens are definitely have like some kind of armored exoskeleton or maybe an endoskeleton, because we've never seen a real kraken. Just what Hollywood has shown us. So that's the nice thing about making something that's not real. No one can tell you that's not what it looks like. I'll prove it. It's like I did a comic. Actually, let me flip back over to here. I have a great story, or great to me, about this particular edition, which this one right here, Kicking the Dragon in the Nads. Bad idea. Really, really bad idea. And I posted this. Just, you know, hey, I did something. I was having fun. I posted it. And it launched into a conversation about, well, you can't do that to a dragon. Dragons have cloacas. Well, okay, if you were going to base them on strictly lizards, sure. But do they? Has anyone seen a dragon? Tell me I'm wrong. Prove that you're right. Prove that I'm right. The thing is, it's a fantasy creature, and it's a gag. But it led to a very interesting, very serious conversation about dragons don't have nads, they have cloacas. And I was like, one of my favorite artists bases his dragons off of horses. And they're beautiful. Michael Whalen. You guys might have heard of him. And he inspired me in a lot of my dragons. And he combines lizard with horse with various other creatures. And we borrow from things to create fantasy creatures. Dragons were probably born of people stumbling across the bones of dinosaurs and just assumed that these things had died within the last 10, 20 years. I love that there are some people out there who are really dedicated to the science of mythical creatures that would argue that point, but you know, there's an article I read when I was a teenager called How Green is Your Goblin? Meaning, when you're painting miniatures and you use a green on a goblin, what's a right color of green and what's a wrong color of green? Are goblins even green at all? Hobgoblins are brown. Why? Or reddish brown. And it's very interesting that, you know, there are a lot of people who are really entrenched into those details, but I found it particularly fascinating and amusing that somebody would read this little comic that I did here and then decided that I was anatomically incorrect. And I'm like, you have a good point based on critters we have, but... So, anyway, sorry, that was my little rant, cute story of the day. Back over to here. Speaking of creating mythical creatures, mine has a bit of a skull. I think it needs a skull because that's what I'm feeling. Although I'm not feeling how odd that is. Okay, I am going to do some massaging here. That doesn't feel right. Nope. Let's do this one. Just doesn't feel right. It's not round. Whoa. That one did not know where it wanted to go. Tells me there's an issue there. See, it doesn't feel right. Why is this weird? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's your problem right there. Oh, bother. Well, that's one of the things having too many causes this effect. I'm trying to avoid that, but, you know, sometimes you just can't get around it. All right. I've stalled long enough. I need to figure out how I'm going to put a tentacle in here. So let's go back over to here. Let's unhide all, not Hall. The Hall is out there. There's no Hall in here. Not that I'm aware of. And let's take a look here. Again, this plate is way too high, so maybe instead of, I can add the next plate in here where it belongs. That might be a way out of this. Make sure this is the front. Then I can just raise all this stuff up, cut the next plate in so that it takes part of this. Oh, easier solution. Yay, I didn't want to have to rebuild that whole surface. So we'll do that in a little bit. But first things first. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to introduce some tubes. Just some cylinders. They got nothing to do with nothing. But it's going to... That is not a cylinder. That is a cylinder. And all it's going to do is going to help me rough out some volume. So that is clearly too big, but hey, it's something. So let's make it a little thinner. Or not. because everything kind of starts here. Well, that's almost dead center. That's way too much. What is going on here? Let's make sure this object's where I want it. I need it centered here. And there, it's fine. Okay. What this is going to do is this is going to help me understand the geometry of this. When you draw something, you would like to think as an artist that you're drawing things in 3D and everything matters, but the truth is that we can use tricks to give the illusion of depth and 3D, and I didn't understand this until I was working on a game of spaceships. And these spaceships were these beautiful, wonderful designs, very intricate. And it was from a 2D board game that wanted to be turned into a 3D game. And so the artists gave us a top, a left, and a front or a back, depending on who it was, and drew these by hand and sent them. And when you looked at them, it was like, oh yeah, these make perfect sense. Yeah, not a problem. Until you scanned them in, and then you tried to use them as building planes, and then nothing lined up. It was a very interesting experience of what looked correct, and then when you went to put it into 3D program, to realize how completely different each one of those ships, each one of those, top, side, front, were completely different ships, and nothing lined up, and it was frustrating because we really wanted to be true to the designs, and it was really hard. We had to make some command decisions on those. All right. Well, I know, so let's put this guy center. We may have to approach this a little bit differently than what I was intending. Let's open this up. Let's put this bad boy, whoops, up in here because we do have a mass that goes up for the body of all of this, and I might just use this tube to help me get the volume correct. Interesting. Let's bring this all the way up into the body here. Of course I can't see anything, but that does ring a little more true. With it a little bit to get what I want out of it. Okay, so let's take these down and let's throw a poly edit on that just a little bit. So I want to make these a little bit wider, so I'm basically making a tube just to kind of get the volume. I might have to build a bit of a body before I can get the tentacles. Oh, I was really hoping to have that nice neck, but okay. This will be helpful. This is not perfect, but this will be helpful. Let's go back to the cylinder. I need to have a line down the, oops, sorry. Let's turn that off. Let's get rid of that. So I need a line dead center so that I can do edit poly, get rid of this side. Now we have a line down the center, but before I did that I probably should have done this. Get that taper in that I was looking for. Yeah, I get a little bit less of a taper here. Here we go, that helps. And do I want to move these? We're, by the way, in past our first hour, and we've accomplished nothing, which is awesome for this channel. It's par for the course. There we go. Let's delete that. All right. We're moving along a little bit better. I am going to massage some things to work on the profiles. But I think we're getting there, at least as far as roughing out a volume. Let's see. Wow, that puts his face all the way back here. I don't like that. So, in order to define that cheek, I'm going to have to make some changes to accommodate this body, whatever it happens to end up being. And this is just me playing around, trying to work on that silhouette. Silhouettes are very important. Oh, do I really want to do it that way? That could cause me problems. Forward on the head in order to get the profile that I want. So this is very useful. We're going to save this. Are we still out there? Are we still alive? Still having a good time? Still watching? Let me know. I've got another hour, but if you guys are pretty much like, meh, we're done, I can end the broadcast now and only do an hour. We did a 2-hour broadcast last week because everybody wanted a 2-hour broadcast. It was helpful. Apparently, I'm really soothing, relaxing, and help everybody get sleep. Right now, I'm going to... Actually, I don't need that cylinder tilted like that. I am kind of in the phase of this model where it's about massaging and tweaking and hammering, and it's literally like watching someone paint and waiting for the paint to dry before they do the next thing. And it can be painful. It can be really painful. But I'm going to, while I'm here, waiting for you guys to decide if you want me to continue, I'm going to push and pull the back. Oh, not that one. The model to kind of conform to the cylinder just a little bit. Why did we do that? There we go. Just so I have the volume to do the things that I want to do. Yeah. Now I need to pull this stuff forward. Yeah, there we go. Bit of an aha moment there. Not a great one, just a bit of one going, aha, I can do it this way. I'm going to put that there. Yeah. That looks better. Not great, but better. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to handle this. Not quite sure at all. And I need... Okay, let's turn that off. I need to grab these guys. I'm not sure who's who anymore. This is where you get lost. So it's time to do my 3D goggle trick. Who did I grab? I grabbed that. Those are okay to grab. Those define that cheek a little bit, so I need to be careful with these. But I also want them to pop out here. So what's that make it look like? Okay, it doesn't change anything for me. That's good. And what's that? Rotate around, see what it is. Okay, well, this one's way too far in no matter what. I'm going to bring that out to there. See what that does to my silhouette as far as the cylinder is concerned. I really don't care. Okay, so it looks like I can grab whoever's in here. drag them out. And then whoever's here along this line, I have one. This is the line I want to follow. This one can come out. Okay. And then I have a guy right there. Just needs to come out a little bit, just a little bit. And then that one can stay in, but mass being mass, let's do that. Let's take a look. Works, 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 works. All right. And I'm doing this just so I get the mass of a body so that there's room to put in all those tentacles. Otherwise, this is just going to get really chaotic. You guys breathing out there? You're all doing all right? Like I said, I can stop at any point. Or I can continue into infinity. Which I'm sure some of you are going to go, yay, do that. Okay, let's bring this out. Just want to keep the volume here. What's going on there? There we go. I have no idea what's going on here, though. A lot of whispering to myself. You're lucky I don't start singing to myself. That could end poorly for us all. Alright, that's good. I'm just trying to get a general volume. I'm using that cylinder to help with that. Oops, didn't want to move that, but okay. Alrighty. Making some progress, making some progress. Let's put the mesh move back on. It is. That's pretty cool. Okay, that gives me something to work with, I hope. Alright, so let's take this object and let's hide it. Let's take this object. Let's go back down to its basic level. Turn off that smooth. Just so I can see what's going on. And what I'm going to do is start moving some of these verts down here around along their edges that they're on. That way I don't lose. Ooh, what was that? Oh, that's me grabbing edges. Edges along edges. That was funny. There we go. That's acting weird, so fine, be that way. Oakley dokley. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to flatten this surface. This could end poorly, so I'm going to save. And we're going to make planar. Yeah, that's not what I want. To make planar or Z. That's what I want. Okay, so now I have a perfectly flat surface to work from here. Just put the cage back on just to see where all those land. Okay, let's turn that off. What am I missing here? Oh, the nose piece, which does not need to be a part of this. It serves its own purpose. Alrighty. Let's unhide that cylinder. And let's go back to this guy. And here's where it's going to get interesting. I'm going to attempt to extrude and bevel to match that cylinder. We'll see how this works. Let's go to front view. And let's do, yeah, the bevel should do the job. And then let's open it up just a little bit. Now, this is going to change a few things that I need to fix. But that's okay. And we're going to say that's fine. So, what it did is it created that face there. And of course, the vertices are not on 0. But, you know, we can work with that. So, we're going to turn off Mesh Smooth here. Grab that face, it goes away. I'm going to grab this vertex, it goes to 0. Grab that vertex, that goes to 0. Just to make sure that is at 0. Okay. So, here's where I am, very roughly. I'm going to have to pull a few things back, but I think we're in a good spot. So let's go ahead and save. Hard save. Like any good video game. Hard save. And I'm going to start playing with some of these vertices now. I think we're just going to move these with no constraints, just straight back until we hit the cylinder. Cylinder is kind of my focal point at this junction of the build. It's going to help me make things the way I want them. Didn't realize we had that back here too. All right. I'm not as concerned back here about hitting the cylinder, but I will go ahead and clean this up just a little bit. The reason I'm not concerned is I think it's because I've never drawn the back of the Kraken, and so I don't know what it looks like. It's an interesting thought. Ooh. Let's get at an angle where I can grab that. Alright. Weirdness. Why does it allow me to... Oh, it's doing 2D. Not a single... That's what's happening. Got it. It is being weird. Alright. Here. Okay. So now I should be able to get rid of this cylinder. And it leaves me with the back of a Kraken. Anyway. Leaves me with this with some volume. So let's... Oops, wrong one. I want this one. got smoothing group issues because it's doing weird things, but we will fix it. We will fix that right now. What is that? That is a smoothing group of 1. This is not a smoothing group of anything. Oops. So if I go, all of you guys, will give you a smoothing group of 1, and then it won't look so odd. There's my volume of the body, and then I can start cutting those cheeks a little sharper in here. I can start figuring out how I'm going to put tentacle in here. And then tentacles back here. I've got to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 of them. It's not an octopus, you see. I am for the moment. I'm going to give this different smoothing group than 1. Give it a smoothing group of 2, just to give me a build plane that I can work with. So I can already tell that I'm going to need to cut this cheek a little sharper, a little harder. I think I need to massage this neck a little bit because some of these are sticking out too much, but I can deal with that later. But we are making progress. What do you guys think? Chirp, 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 nothing but crickets. All right, well, I'm going to come back over here to the big camera for a minute. Have some coffee. So, Karma, I believe it's just you and me today. Everyone else has enjoyed it as far as they can, and now they have to get on with their days. No one can blame them for that. And I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We've made a lot of progress. I've roughed out more of the general shape. There's still a lot of details. I'm going to start with adding a little definition to the side of the nose here. Pull the cheeks forward, which means I have to, in order to match the artwork a little bit, cut behind them just a little bit. Created the flat kind of skull piece on the head, and that means I'm probably going to have to add some vertices to the top to round it, because right now it's got a bit of a sharp point. Came up with a solution for the plate that's the for lack of a better word, the Klingon skull ridge that this guy has. I cut the original one, it was way too high. And in order to fix it, I was going to have to move everything down and possibly delete faces and rebuild it. And that was going to be a hassle. And then I went, why am I doing that? Why don't I just cut the other one inside the first one? Because I'm an idiot. I didn't think of that. So that'll be the next probably step when I go to massage the head. Like I said, he started off looking like a very angry Squidward. Not sure what he looks like now. Let's mirror him. And then click off. And take a look where we're now. Let's take a look where we're at. Now he's looking more like a tiki idol or skull, which is the whole intent is the Kraken had to have kind of a skull-like appearance. I'm going to select that so I can rotate around it. So back here he does look like an evil Squidward. Yeah, I need to fix the back. That's not what I want, but I do have to define this cheekbone because it looks like it just blends straight into the back of the neck. And I may have to pull this in to keep this a little more round back here. There are all kinds of, ooh, like that. There's a problem right there. should be able to solve. One's an instance of the other. One of these things are not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Whoop. Think, pow. There we go. I'll fix that. Alright, so a lot of things to clean up, a lot of things to redefine. But what this does, ultimately, it gives me geometry to work with for pulling the various tentacles out. And hopefully in time, we'll get closer and closer to what the artwork looks like. But I think there's definitely a tentacle that comes from here, just behind the nose. This main tentacle right here comes out from just behind the nose. So he will occupy this spot, which means I get to get the other 8 in here. So I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm going to have to do some math. Oh no. It's not about math at this point. It's going to be about what can I sneak in there. But we have a bit of a body, just very little bit. Like I said, turn him from being an evil Squidward to more of a tiki mask. But I'm fairly happy. He's a little too square back here. That's okay. Maybe I'll run some more baby ridges all the way back. We'll see. I want to define the shape a little bit more, but I think on the right track. Not there, but on the right track. I'm fairly confident we can pull this off with this equipment. And constant color. Not quite the right color. I think it's going to be more of a that color. Yeah. Hey, stepped away for a bit. So many have so may have missed something. Just seeing just you, not art. Oh, yes. Oops. It's because I went to here. I'm just messing around. It's gotten quiet, so I figure I had to go back to the big screen and forgot to go back to here. Sorry about that. Just kind of seeing what he would look like, and he seems to be getting closer. We're making progress. Not perfect, but we are making some progress. Alright, let's go ahead and put him back. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, fine, be that way. All those undos I just did, let's just redo them. Okay. So, one of the things you cannot undo is the color of your object. That's very interesting. Okay. So, like I said, we've gone from evil Squidward to more of a skull tiki thing. And I'm happy with the direction. We're not there yet. Got a lot more defining to do. Thank you. But, like I said, and that's one of the reasons I went to the big screen, I think I'm going to wrap it up. We're at an hour and a half. And I've got a lot of things to kind of figure out and try and see what I can make work. But I am overall fairly happy with this piece. I need to move some things around. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the other side of the head there. It's an instance, meaning that when I work on one bit of it, it changes things on the other bit, which is kind of nice when you're trying to do semi-symmetrical pieces. Again, that's just, I mean, that would make a great G.I. Joe character head right there. Just ears sticking out. But I need to round out just a little bit more. I need to add some more polygons and things at the top so I don't have so much stretching. I may end up just rebuilding that from scratch with quads, which is possible. But with a few exceptions, we're getting there. I just really want that more round. I have to fix that. I think we're getting there. And of course I still need to fix this spot right here. Anyway, I'm going to do a hard save. Go ahead and line everything up. This is supposed to be a left. Oh yeah. Got a lot of work here. But I think that main tentacle in the art, which is this one right here, the 9th tentacle, because I drew the others first, needs to come out just behind the nose. So I think these faces right here, along with some of these in here, are going to be that tentacle. Because in the artwork, it truly does come out from just behind the nose. And I think right now he looks really goofy. It looks nothing like what we started with, which is fine. And we will fix that. But for now, let's go back over to here. Now you're supposed to only see me. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, like I've said about a dozen times. I want to let you guys know you're loved. And you're worthy of that love. You deserve it. The world is hard enough. Don't beat yourself up. Let yourself be loved, and you need to love yourself, because if you can't love those around you as well as you could. So, be safe. Be careful. And know, like I said, that you're loved. Thank you very much for watching, and if you would like to support me and or this channel or these projects, the best way to do it right now is buymeacupofcoffee.com/chainreaction. There you can buy me a cup of joe that fuels my various art rampages. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you all. Take care.